Sam, AKA. What's up, Sam? At least I know I got Sam out there pulling for me. What's up, Jessica? What's up, Spice? What up? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Tuning into the Tim Black Show. We do this every day except Saturday and Tuesday. So it's not every day. It's 5 days a week. And we are back in the seat, man. What's up? Nene64. What's up, sis? All right. With you at my back, I know I'm good. Big B. What up, B? Candy Rain. What's up? It is good having y'all here. Rob Scholar. Sirius. Bruce Newsom. Aretha. How you doing, Aretha? Good to have you back. Elizabeth, thank you for coming through and doing what you do. Whole crew, thank y'all for doing what y'all do. All right. Need to put my coffee on top of the desk tonight. It's gonna be one of those nights. Get over here in the center. Everybody's sending themselves for a minute, man. We got to talk, man. The title of tonight's show is Why White Liberals Are More Dangerous Than Open Racists. You know, and this is inspiring because, well, I was inspired to do this topic tonight because someone hit me up. They said, Tim Black, you wanting Black America to lead the Democratic Party and go independent sounds like a worthy goal. But then we got to deal with the Trump people and the conservatives. And at least we got white liberals when we went to Democrats. Can't hear you. I said, at least we got the white liberals when we went to Democrats. Now, I don't need to tell you, but I was a little punched in the stomach when I got that email. Yeah, it's kind of punched me in the stomach because that means they hear me talk for all this time. They've been hearing me talk. And this person said they've been listening for quite some time. I'm like, wow, you've been hearing me talk all this time, and that's what you think? That's how you move around the world, huh? Well, if you don't have this part down, then I guess I ain't doing my job. Maybe I'm not being transparent enough. Look, I know I can't change your opinion about life, but I gotta take a shot at bringing you up to speed here. Look, part of the reason why we are where we are is because of white liberals and our proximity to them and that cozy feeling you get because it's all bogus. Yeah, the person that wrote me that letter really checked me, man. They didn't know they did it, but they checked me, not the way they thought they would check me. I think they thought they were going to be telling me something that I needed to consider and revamp my whole strategy. Like I was going to go, oh man, you're right. There's some racist conservatives. Now I know I do my best to try to look young, not young, but virile. I try to look, somewhat youthful on the show, But the brother been here for a while, half a century. This person thinks I've been here half a century on the planet Earth, in America, and close to a southern state, which is what I call Maryland. And they think I don't know that there comes some conservatives that got a problem with the blacks. This is what this person doesn't know. There are a lot of liberals that got problems with the blacks too. They're just not very open and honest about their problems with the blacks. Some of them they remind me of this clip here.
That our strength is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants, and we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI, and we let them define what woke is. We got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, you damn right we're proud of these policies.
Yeah, they sound like this guy, Tim Walz. A bunch of virtual signaling, nothing. Zero substance. Sounds good, sounds great. But what does that really do for us? What does that do for Black America, really? Look who he's talking to. Look at him. Look at the room. Read the room. And what's he talking about? He's talking about the warm and fuzzy feelings you get when you have things in your head. But none of that means anything in people's lives. He's talking about words. He's talking about things, polite exchanges, people saying stuff to one another to make them, want to pat each other on the back about how great they are, how open-minded they are. But that has nothing to do with people getting power. It has nothing to do with making your city, your neighborhood safer, making your interest rates be equal to white people's interest rates, your life expectancy match that of white people's. None of that. Your education quality and your education equaling that of somebody with similar background and pay. Just equal. Now, I ain't talking about you got to crush them, but being in the same damn ballpark. He ain't talking about any of that. He's talking about superficial nonsense. The type of stuff that when you open the wrapper, it disintegrates. There's no nothing in it. There's no it in it. It's just words, man. Yeah, we want to be able to say DEI. We gotta fight for DEI. This is the white liberal language, man. They don't think you are smart enough to know that the DEI doesn't help Black people like it helps white people that are LGBTQ or white people that are veterans. He doesn't think you know that the hierarchy still exists even with programs like that. Because if those programs, like affirmative action, like DEI, really worked, we wouldn't be sitting where we're sitting, would we? Because we've had those programs working for so long. How long is it supposed to take a program to make a dent? At some point, you got to say the programs don't seem to be working, Johnson, because you've been using them. Sit-ups hurt. Why do them if you're not getting any results? Some other things got to change for the sit-ups to work. We know we got to take in less calories. Doesn't matter how much you burn if you're going to eat a whole pizza to yourself. Well, let's put it this way. Liberals keep talking about us doing the equivalent of an hour worth of cardio. Meanwhile, our society is eating a pizza every other hour. Extra cheese, sausage, pepperoni, and beef on it. See, tonight we're going to call out the real enemy. And I don't think the real enemy is the MAGA people. Nah, I don't think it's the MAGA people. If the real enemy was the MAGA people, we'd be okay because MAGA just started in 2015. Yeah, like if the problem was MAGA, then we'd be good because we've been having the right to vote since 64, right? So wouldn't we be okay by now? I mean, MAGA just popped up. They're a newborn on the scene. They're not even in toddler years yet in comparison to where we've been with civil rights. So if it really was the MAGA people with a problem, how are they going to be the problem when they just got in? I mean, how is Trump the problem if our problem has been existing for the last 50, 60, 70, 100, 200 years? What are we talking about? And if just having liberal friends in the Democratic Party have your so-called back, why will we still have problems? Because you've been with the Democrats for 70 years, right? At least 50, 55 years. I mean, we've been voting exclusively Democrat since 1970 or so. It's 2025. It's a long time. That's 55 years. Open racists are predictable. Yeah, we know what open racists are going to do. Open racists don't sneak up on you. Open racism, you can set your clock to it, your watch to it, can't you? Oh, okay, watch this, watch this. She's going to hit the lock on the door, clap. Yeah, that's what they got us bracing ourselves for. But how does that really change our lives? See, if the open racist was the real problem, somebody yelling the N-word out of their car while you walk by, someone that doesn't want you to date their daughter, I guess that's racist. I don't even know if that is. That's just preference. But you know, real racism, when people are racist, they just don't like black people. They don't, how does that really impact you? I'm trying to tell you that we got systemic problems, and white liberals, a lot of those white liberals are running those systems. They're right there sitting next to others, sitting next to you, operating in systems to keep you where you are. So what good is it? Now, man, we can't have people that are afraid to get away from Democrats because they're worried they're going to have to deal with Trump people. Man, you've been dealing with Trump people your whole life. You've been dealing with Trump people before there was a Trump. Let's be clear, man. Donald Trump has only been a politician the last 10 years. It's a lot of years that precede Trump. And he's only been in power 4 years. I know you like Joy Reid and MSNBC and Rachel Maddow and The View and Sonny's great, and you love April Ryan and Roland Martin. But some things are just factual. I know they got you blaming Trump for everything from bad weather to the bird flu to fires and the crashes of planes and corruption and waste and fraud in our federal government. But at some point, we got to smack ourselves upside the head and say, hold on a second. The guy's only been president one time for 4 years, and in the second term, and it's only been 2 months. How can all this be his fault? See, the white liberals, they disarm you with their allyship. It's disarming. It rocks you to sleep with nice words of inclusivity, equity, equality, affirmative action. And then when I look at the stats, and I start reading off the stats, I start looking at the reality, because the reality is the numbers. That's how you feel. It's not seeing Hollywood so white or Hollywood so black. It's not about seeing black excellence on BET, which ain't even black owned, but we suspend reality. That ain't got nothing to do with it, man. That's superficial stuff. That's symbolic. When we start looking at the numbers of the rate in which our children are learning, see, I'm just saying that the white liberal takes your mind off of the niceties, the nice talk, the being cordial. You know what I'm saying? Being cordial, being polite, all that good stuff. It takes your eye off the ball. Yeah, I wish that white liberals would just wake up tomorrow and just have no filter. Then you would not be asleep. At least then you wouldn't be counting on them for nothing. You wouldn't be thinking we good because we're sitting with them on this side of the ball. Maybe it's time you go be with people. If you think Republicans don't like you, you think conservatives don't like us, well, maybe it's time we go work with them, because it can't come out any worse. I mean, if a white guy's going to outlive me by 10 years, The average white guy is going to outlive me by 10 years if I'm the average black man. What are we talking about? I'm talking about the actual length of life on Earth. And you're talking about warms and fuzzies. You're talking about, listen to Tim Walz tell you about DEI and about us saying nice things to one another. When I'm saying we need so much more than that done, and we've been rocking with people like Tim Walz all this time who have mastered the art of appearing to be the nicest white guy on the block. But that hasn't gotten us anywhere. This is not new. You understand what I'm saying? It's not new to have people that talk nice to you. And then just keep things going the way they're going. And then we just end up where we are, at the bottom. So, dealing, the case against white liberals. Listen, they love the symbols over the substance. The dealing with the kente cloth is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Remember that? The solution to George Floyd. Remember that? The culmination of all that anger, frustration, pain, agony, hopelessness, rage, disappointment, whatever you felt. At the peak of that, what'd they do? They all got together symbolically. They put on some African garb, which isn't even African American, and George Floyd was from here, definitely. He was foundationally black. He a black American, not African. They put on some African garb, and they said a few words, and they took a kneel. Hell, what Nancy Pelosi said was the most disgusting thing I heard in a long time. She said, George Floyd sacrificed. I don't think he did. I don't think he sacrificed. Sacrifice implies, somebody did something for you. Nah, he didn't sacrifice, he died. We've been doing that all this time, but they wanted to cloak it. The liberals wanted to cloak that into something, and it's just to pull a wool over our eyes. They never stop taking opportunities to put you to sleep, to pretend. They see everything that happens with us is an opportunity to step in and pretend that they got our backs, and they don't. What they don't want is this. They do not want black people, particularly black men, standing up to the system and saying what's true. If you got one set of people that are saying all these nice things to you, and you thinking that those nice things actually mean something more than they do, that they actually mean some material gain in your life that somehow is going to make life better for you and your family, but they don't seem to be working out that way. And then you got somebody just telling you, hey, maybe we need to do something else. And you push them back because you think, well, at least we got them saying it. That means you're going to take your eye off the ball big time. You're about to get hit in the face with the ball. Black squares on Instagram, but silent on gentrification in their cities. BLM was just an opportunity for white liberals to pretend they cared about stuff. Meanwhile, actual fight for these policies, they weren't doing that. It was all momentary. It was all just a reaction to the market. It's sort of like, I remember going to see it. I remember Richard Pryor did this thing about Rocky, when the Italians went to see Rocky. No, that's Eddie Murphy, right? Eddie Murphy did that. Yeah, he did the Rocky thing. Yeah. Eddie Murphy did this. Remember that skit? You said the Italians go see Rocky, they believe it too. They come out of Rocky ready to fight because they saw Rocky. And that's what Hollywood will do to you. Hollywood will make you feel like you can take on the world after seeing one of these movies like that. And for Italians to see an Italian on the screen, take on that big black dude, take on, Mr. T, or take on a specimen like the brother Apollo Creed. Man, he come out of that movie theater, man, walking to the sun. Remember done that? Remember doing that? Remember going to real movie theaters and coming out and it's still daytime? You've been sitting in the dark for 2 hours, you come out and it's They come out of Hollywood, come out of that Hollywood trance. You start thinking that anything's possible. And Eddie said that's when that pumped up Italian dude runs into that 7-foot brother from Zimbabwe. Built like a, I don't know, a slab of steel. And now he want to talk mess. And what I'm saying, that's a funny skit, but it's also what happens to us every time there's any problem. We go to the movie. And I don't mean the actual movie theaters, man. We go to the movie called corporate media. We go to corporate media and we go watch the videos. We read the articles. We get just as drunk as the Rocky fan. The Italians got after watching Rocky. They wanted to take on the world. Or we're convinced that the world operates that way, and it doesn't. That's BS, and that's just corporate media writing stuff. And at the end of the day, it don't have anything to do with our lives. And I think that's more dangerous than accepting reality, which is what you got to deal with. If you got to deal with racists, at least you know they racist, and you know where you stand, and you know what you got to do, and then we can act accordingly. But if we continue to keep our heads locked into fantasy land about what's going on, then how can we ever better our situation? I don't think we can better our situation that way. The truth is, the white liberals want our culture, but not our liberation. If they wanted our liberation, that's what they would be helping us on. In fact, the easiest way to get cut off from white liberals is to start talking like this. Believe me, I know. This is what they don't want. Last thing they want you to do is start talking about liberation. Start talking about, damn. So we have been sitting here for 55 years, stuck voting for the same party, 90 to 95%. I mean, you would think we voted like 50-50 for Trump, the way they talk, you know? Yeah, you would think 50% of black Americans went out and voted for Trump. You realize that only 80% of black Americans voted, well, 80% of black Americans did vote for Kamala. Do you realize that? It's almost twice what any other group did. And people act like the sky's falling. Black women still voted, like, was it 92% for Kamala? It's black men that dragged it down to 80. And that's nothing to be proud of. It's nothing to be proud of. I hate to bust your bubble on that shit. There's nothing to be proud of, man. Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Every time out, same thing. Can you imagine doing that in real life? No one does that in real life. No one lives that long doing that same thing in real life. I mean, eventually, somebody come get you, throw a sheet over you, take you to a room, give you a special jacket, put rubber on the wall, and give you applesauce and some medication at routine intervals per day, because you need help. And look, I mean, a lot of us do. But look, they weaponize what I consider being individual. That's all I'm trying to get people to do is be individual. And this person made it sound like I was trying to lead us to the slaughter. So they made me feel a certain kind of way. I say we are not free if our people can't vote Republican or Democrat and not be called Uncle Toms. To me, you think it's funny. You think it's a joke. I think it's a deal breaker. Black people gotta be able to vote any way we want to vote. I'm talking about within our own group. I'm not talking about how other people say we are, whatever they depict us as. But I'm talking about the way we treat each other. See, to be independent, to be autonomous, means we get to make our own decisions. What do you think happens when black folks start getting out of line with the white liberals? They run these corporate media entities, for instance. They go bye-bye, right? Isn't that what happens? You really think they can just switch up? Take, for instance, Michael Steele. Michael Steele was an RNC chair. He went from being an RNC chair to being a Democrat. If you want to know what power is, there you have it. There it is. You can go that way. I don't know if you could go the other way and still get on corporate media. Could you go from being Democrat to being Republican and still get play in corporate media? I don't think you could, Johnson. I think Candace Owens is the only person I even see try it. And she's still not really in corporate media, you know. And she didn't have a career in journalism before she did that. You know what I'm saying? She was independent, but I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that out there. If you call black conservatives Uncle Toms, then you are just doing the job of white liberals. You're keeping black people in line. You don't even know you're doing it. We should all have the same freedom. I should have the same freedom an Asian man has, a Latino woman has, or a white man has. That's to vote any way I want to vote. And if we don't have that, then we're not free. And white liberals, once you stop doing what they want, then you become persona non grata. And I'm trying to tell you, I've been all over this internet for over a decade. I have done nothing. I have held no other job in the last 12, 13 years than this right here. And that means I spend a lot of time online, don't it? Yeah, it does. And I'm trying to tell you, there is no vengeance. There is no vengeance like white liberals coming for your neck once you turn your back on them, once you change up on them. There ain't nothing harsher. There's nothing more vicious than a white liberal that sees a black person that left the plantation. And I think they're both plantations. It's not like I left the Democratic plantation. I never was voting Democrat, but I was friendly with the Democrats. A lot of these people are friendly with the Democrats. That's why Democrats come on their program. Name the Democrat that's been on the Tim Black show since I stopped being friendly with the Democrats. Zero. So what I'm saying is the white liberals, once they decided Tim Black is no longer playing ball, it's up. And it ain't just about me, but it's about all of us. I'm just giving you the example of what I saw happen in real time. It's what I saw happen. It's what I lived. It's what I experienced. It's what I know to be true. This is not me guessing. There was no backlash. Ain't no party like a New York party because the New York party don't stop. We used to say that about Go-Go. Ain't no party like an EU party because the EU party don't stop. Well, ain't no vengeance like a white liberal vengeance because the white liberal vengeance don't stop. Everyone keeps telling you that it's Trump and it's Republicans that'll come get you. Oh no, free speech is going away. How many people got canceled by Republicans? But see, people are not even thinking that far. They so programmed, they don't even think this out. I mean, it's obvious. that white liberals are more dangerous to us, that white liberals are the more dangerous entity. I mean, if you're going to put people in a box, I mean, I guess we got to be able to call a thing, right? People are more than just their political ideology, right? I get that, but I'm saying for the purposes of this live stream, we got to look at it. And yes, there are going to be people that are outliers and people that are different, and people are individuals. But I'm saying for the purpose of this live stream, we got to boil it all the way down, Johnson. We got to boil it down for what it is. If not, we can't have a conversation. So what I'm saying is, white liberals, I'm presenting to you my argument that white liberals are I should have put far more dangerous than open racists. Because the open racists let you know it's time to run. Open racists let you know it's a sundown town. Liberals pretend they're going to hide you. They pretend you good. And yeah, I know about Jim Brown. John Brown, damn. Shout out to Jim Brown. Yeah, I know about John Brown. I know about him. And I also know it was so rare, that's why we all know John Brown's name, right? Because it's so rare that a white man would do what he did, which is take it all the way to the house for what he believed in. And equality was one of those things he believed in. Not saying there's no exceptions. We're not talking about exceptions, which is why I'm pissed off about the whole black excellence thing. You know, you shouldn't have to be an exceptional black person to have a nice life in America. You shouldn't have to be exceptional to have wealth in America. You shouldn't have to be exceptional. You shouldn't have to be LeBron James, Prince, Oprah. You shouldn't have to be that. You shouldn't have to be Tyler Perry in order to pass on wealth to your children. We start talking about stuff like that, all of a sudden all the white liberals get a little quiet then. We just start talking about wanting what they have. You know what I'm saying? You start talking about wanting what they already have as a group. Not everyone. It's always going to be poor white people. That's how they set it up. I'm not talking about everybody. White people always get that twisted. Any white people watching, doesn't mean if you broke, we ain't talking about you. I ain't talking about you. I understand that they're poor white people. I get it. I know it. I've been around here. I know. I'm talking about white liberals that are doing okay, and some doing super okay. I met white liberals that are doing fantastic, would never tell your ass they own 4 houses. You sit up here living in an apartment fighting roaches. You be open and honest about how bad your situation is. They just sit there crying for you on the inside. Oh, poor Tim. Poor guy. Won't say shit. Won't say nothing. They sitting on 4 houses, a couple of acres. The grandma left them, and the papa left them. Got some shit upstate. Got another crib, a summer house that they go to. They alternate with other family members. They do the family reunion at. All types of stuff. Got bonds their great-great-grandfather left them. You don't know nothing about. Got a couple of acres that are unattended. They ain't even been down to look at it. They just know they heard this in the family. They got so much going on. When your people died, they left you clothes that you can't fit. So when we start talking about equality, we talk about equality, inequity. We talking about having what you have. I was told a person ain't your friend unless they want you to have unless they want for you what they want for themselves. Let me say that again. I got a little twisted up. I was told a person ain't your friend unless they want for you what they have for themselves. Why liberals don't want you to have what they have. They just want you to be quiet. Stop making them feel bad about what they got. Hopefully you get enough to shut up and let's pretend it's in the vicinity of what they have. And you don't got to be white to be a liberal, because this ain't even just white liberals, but we are talking about white liberals, but there are Asian liberals that do a good job of doing this. Like that man Boston, who thought it was a flex to say we don't count undocumented people. Who didn't have to say a mumbling a word about the fact that Black American net worth in Boston, Massachusetts, $11,000. Meanwhile, white wealth is average of $200,000. And that's up because it was $8 for blacks and $250,000 for whites just 15 years ago. It's changed. It's updated. Update your angry logs. 2022, they did a new study. Yeah, Murray Wu was up there bragging. She's on the Congress floor talking about, yeah, we don't even count undocumented people. We don't count blacks either because of the disparity like that. Woo! I wish you did count. They say what you count, you can control. What you don't track, you can't control. Anything you track, you can improve. Just knowing that your cholesterol is high will help you live longer. Because subconsciously you'll be thinking, oh, maybe I need to not eat those eggs. And that, whatever. And steak and cheese, maybe I should pass on the steak and cheese. The point is this, white liberals, once again, this is my thing, man, because somebody wrote me and they said, if you just tune in, somebody wrote me and they say, Tim Black, I hear you talking and I know you want us to become independent, but don't you know, at least, you know, you trying to make us go rock with the MAGA. And the MAGAs, they don't like black people. And it was like they were implying that the Democrats do, you know, like the white liberals do. And I felt compelled to drop everything I was doing and address this now. Because that's crazy talk. If working with the white liberals was so advantageous in Black America, we wouldn't be having people, new arrivals to this country who've been here less than 10 years, wouldn't end up having a higher net worth than us. Right? Because we've been here since America, before America was America, officially. Right? How they going to show up? I mean, most immigration didn't start until, was it 1970, Sam Khaleesi? Like 1970, that's when they did the act. 69 or 70, which one? One of those years. When they opened the floodgates for immigration, before then, it was very, very hard to get in the country. Much harder, you know. It's an act that was passed. So, how that happen? And the whole time, and it was right around the time we got our civil rights too. Yeah, white liberals gave us our civil rights, and then right around that time, well, actually, it was Republicans who did that, didn't they? Lyndon B. Johnson was a Democrat, but Republicans freed the slaves. Lyndon B. Johnson was a humongous racist. But he did right by us on that, right? Didn't he? Kinda, I guess. The point is this: white liberals are more dangerous, I feel more dangerous than the outright racists. Look, I'm going to put it like this. The Democrats have been a party you've been giving your vote to this whole time. And if they was our friends, they had 50 years to fix policing, 50 years to fix our schools, 50 years to fix our air and our water, 50 years to fix mass incarceration. They have not. They had 50 years to fix our schools, 50 years to fix our mass incarceration, our air and our water, 50 years to fix policing. That's 5 things. Of those 5 things, how many of those things have been fixed? Which one can I take off the board, man? Since we friends. You know what I'm saying? Since we so cool. And I'm wrong to say we should go independent. So tell me which thing am I getting wrong? I'm getting it twisted, man. Come on, man. I know you guys watch so many of these corporate media guys, people that are adjacent to corporate media in the independent world and people that are in corporate media who will tell you that I'm totally full of it. Then we got some will be honest, maybe not on camera, but they'll be honest when we have a private conversation. What else can we do? Which is a very defeatist attitude. I don't know what else you could do. Maybe you could fight. Maybe you could, you could fight for something more than just your personal bank account. Maybe that. See, white liberal allies just ain't gonna get it. We have to step out on something more than just trying to get along and just looking out for ourselves. We gotta look out for more than just ourselves. And I think sometimes, like the person who wrote me, who told me we in such danger because Trump over there. Can you believe somebody still thinks that way? After having Biden. You know, you would think that would have done it for him. But see, that's how bad the propaganda is, folks. We went from not having Trump and shit was bad, to having Trump and shit was bad, to not having Trump and shit was bad. Now back to having Trump again. And shit's still bad. And you want to blame Trump for something like, yeah, I know. And look, I don't believe the unemployment numbers. I don't go by that. The unemployment numbers are garbage. And you know who said that? Trump in 2015 when he was running. He stopped saying it after he got the lowest unemployment numbers in the black community ever. So don't use that on me. What I'm saying basically is that has those 5 things improved? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Trump is going to do if you keep voting Democrat all the time. Why would anybody do anything for black America that's not Democrat? Why would anybody do anything for black America at all when they already know who you're going to vote for before you vote? So Republicans think, why even try? Because you know you're going to stay over there anyway. And Democrats say, well, why even try? Because I know they're going to stay right here. And that's the whole point of what I'm saying. And all I'm saying is very logical. And the only reason why it seems unlogical or illogical is because we've been programmed to think that this is foolish talk. This is crazy. It's crazy. It's always a good idea to go get, estimates. Get more than one estimate. You want to get more than one recommendation from your doctor. You want more than one, estimate on work, repair work. You should take your car to more than one mechanic. But we're gonna not take our future, our political futures to more than one party. We're gonna let people like Roland Martin, Jim Clyburn, Al Sharpton, Maxine Waters. We're gonna let these people dictate to us what's in our best interest. We got common sense, right? Look, man, listening to Al Sharpton and Roland Martin and Maxine Waters and these people, it's like going to Home Depot and say, I need to get some hammers and some nails. You know where I can get it? Now, what would the good employee tell you to do? Would tell you to go to Al, whatever, pick it up right here at Home Depot. Even if there were better hammers and nails at Lowe's or some other hardware store, or even a mom and pop shop. That's like Green Party or Truth and Justice Party with Cornel West in it. But it's only very few would send you outside the store to get the best hammer and nail sets or whatever. Yeah. So asking the people that work for the people that you're asking about, where should you go get something? Well, it's only natural they're going to tell you to stay here at the store that they work for. Right? Right? What's worse, a MAGA racist or a white liberal who gentrifies your city? That's a good question. I don't necessarily believe that all MAGAs are racist because in our system, when you believe you only got 2 parties to run anyway, most people didn't know who Jill Stein was or what Cornel West stood for to even consider anything else. A situation like that, can you really blame people? We're going to just demonize people because they picked the R instead of the D? But okay, fine. I don't really care what we think about that. What I'm saying is We got to get the best deal possible. We don't need to be prejudging people as racist or moral, their morality or their ethics. I don't care about none of that. I care about what you're going to get done. If you say they're not going to get nothing done, let them tell me that. I don't need you to tell me they ain't going to get nothing done. I don't need you telling me that ahead of time. And who's usually the people telling you that if we become independent, we ain't going to get nothing out of Republicans? Oh, I know. Democrats, right? That's my point. It's the Democrats that tell you. What you trying about going somewhere else for, Tim Black? Why would you do that, Tim Black? That don't make sense. You're rooting against yourself. You a sellout. That's people that either conditioned by these people or people that work for them people. Because all I know is a free agent, an incredible talent, which is what I think black people are. When it's time to try to go pro, which I think we better go pro real soon, while we still got any chance of getting anything out of this, I believe they look and see who get the best offer coming in. This ain't draft day. This is us picking day. We ain't going to just look at one team. We're going to look at the salaries of different teams. We're going to look at what's offered. We're going to look at the whole package. You go to college, you look at the whole package, right? Anything you choose, look at the whole package, right? You don't just go look at one car, you look at several cars. You don't just look at one apartment or one house. You got several houses or apartments. You don't just go on one date. Say, this got to be it. This ain't arranged dating. And it feels like that's what we do here. And we keep doing it and doing it and doing it well. And I'm saying this is where we at. We at some point we got to look at what we've been doing and look at our results and say, maybe we should do something different. Anybody else got better suggestions? Let me know. I say we do something different. And look, I could prove to be wrong. It's possible. But and we could lose by doing it my way. But all I'm saying is, if you keep getting your teeth kicked in, doing it the same way, at least lose different. You know, I'm not saying we can't lose going another way. What I'm saying is, let's lose a different way this time. If that's going to be the case, I mean, we're going to end up with our children on the bottom of the stack again. Least we could do is say we tried something different instead of we at the will and the mercy of a group that ain't got to pay us no attention, who just incorporated, just infused the country with 10 million new voters. Now, we got a small window of opportunity because we got Donald Trump that ain't going to let them vote this time. We got a small window. I know we got some delusional people probably watching that think that Joe Biden let in 10 million people because he loved people. I know you out there just dumb. I guess you believe when them boats went to Africa to get slaves, they were just trying to help us out. Because you know they so nice. Want us to come over here and check things, give us a vacation. Then their boats wouldn't start up. The motors broke down, and we had to stay. Then they gave us food and shelter. Ain't that right, Charlie Kirk? Candace Owens, and they hooked us up with food and shelter, right? And our main problem is we get mad too much. Right, Candace? I wonder why we get mad, Candace. I wonder why we talk to her without grilling her ass about that shit, Stephen A. I wonder why we let her say those things on your platform without you saying anything, Mr. I'm running for president. I'm that. LeBron, psych. Look, man, white liberals are bad. Or at least nothing's coming out of this relationship that's good for us. And we should accept that and let's deal with it accordingly. Drop a time when a white liberal fails you in the comments. I would like to see somebody put in the comments their own personal story, a time that a white liberal failed them. Let's make it real for people, because I think people are living in la-la land. And I know what that's like, living in la-la land. You think it's good. You think things are sweet. You think everybody means well. Once again, if everybody means well, and if this system was working for us, if this situation was working for us, things would be better for us. The proof that it's not working are the numbers, the stats. That's what everybody else uses. They say in Ukraine, thousands of people are dying every week. And for the last 10 years, there's been virtually no land gains, no real movement in where taking back a land, Ukraine versus Russia. So Russia they've taken like 16% or 18% of Ukraine or something. And there's been no pushback from that in the last 2 years, it seems. But still, every week, 1,000 people die. Some crazy number, something. I just heard this earlier today. And it's crazy that there are people that want to see that to keep going on, because they don't want Ukraine to surrender to Russia, because they say, well, they don't want to let Putin win. What they don't understand is that Putin already won. He won 2 years ago. You know, sort of like a relationship could have been over 2 years ago, but you're still there, but you ain't, really been feeling that person for 2 years. Well, that's what's happened in that war over there. But people can delude themselves all they want. So I feel like this thing that's been going on with us, with the Democratic Party, with the white liberals, and that's why I'm boiling them down to Democrats. White liberal, I'm putting that in the Democratic Party column. And if things were going better for us, we'd see it in our lives. We would be gaining ground. We're not gaining ground. And if we are gaining ground, it's so small, it don't even matter. I put this stat out and I said, we essentially, after 50 years of voting for Democrats 90% of the time or better, our home ownership, which is the ruler in which we measure wealth. The black people that have money in America are boomers. That's the majority group that has money in America. Those are boomers. And those boomers, 41.4 of them owned their houses in 1970. Owned a house in 1970. 41% of Americans owned houses in 1970. The majority of those were older Americans. Well, I don't know if they were older then. But what I'm saying is, most people who have wealth in this country, the home is what they do. That's why they say the American dream was own a home. Okay. Meanwhile, white America was like 70%, 70-something percent, low 70s. So 70% to 40%. If you fast forward 50 years of us voting for Democrats, we're still in the 40s. 44.4, I think it is. We've moved exactly 3 percentage points in 50 years. Voting Democrat every time. Then somebody's going to argue, Tim Black, if you would have voted Republican some of those times, we probably would have went backwards. You don't know that. You're just saying it. See, the only way to really know that is to do it, right? That's the only way we would know, right? Can't say coulda, woulda, shoulda. We don't know. Or this bad thing would have happened. Maybe so, maybe not. I'm betting something different would have happened. And even if I'm wrong, we're still sitting where we're sitting. You want to go another 50 years? I don't think we got 50 years, Johnson. They said now I read this study that said by 2034, I think it is, Black America is going to be zeroed out effectively in this country. Black Americans, that's black people from America. Not black people's people, not anchor people, not people that. People that came over last month or came over 10 years ago, their parents were immigrants. Now I'm talking about Black Americans, couple generations in. So white liberals, man, and they've been at the helm of this, and they're the ones that's laying claim. And even when I hear black people that they go after other black people that say stuff like me, that say we need to be independent, we need to change our voting pattern, we need to change our politics, we need to wake up. This theatrical, these theatrics, this symbolism. We gotta stop jumping out the gym over that. We gotta stop letting that be something that's important to us. We gotta stop reacting to that. Now we got young people that are gonna do it because they're not getting the proper guidance from older Americans, older blacks. They're allowing them to get souped in or locked in or getting glamored by that nonsense. But we can't get glamored by it. Oh, she looks so good. They look so good together. Look at Obama and Michelle. That's so great. Meanwhile, we're sitting over here moving 3 percentage points in 50 years of home ownership. And we sit over here clapping like Jasmine Crockett, showing her ass on TV, cussing out Trump is changing something for us. When she's a legislator, she's supposed to change stuff for us with her pen. That's what she was elected to do, to change lives in Texas with a pen. Not change her zip code and her bank account numbers by becoming a star. And if she does, great for her. That does not help us as a whole, though, does it? It don't help Texas, and it doesn't help the rest of us. And I'm only using her because she's so prominent. I already went after Al. I already mentioned Jim Clyburn. And Roland gets his work from me constantly, so it is what it is. Well, I did mention Maxine Waters. If Maxine Waters had to live like the people in her district have to live, the majority of black people that still live in her district that can afford to, in the bad areas of town, I think she would deport herself somewhere. That's right, she would deport herself if she had to live like her constituents. And that goes to a lot of these Congress, these black faces in high places. If they had to live like the people that they're supposed to be standing up for, if Clyburn had to live like the poorest people in his district, he'd rob a bank. And too many of us can't see that. And all I'm saying is the people that can't see it, the people that are blinded to reality, I think that those people are being influenced by people that work for those people. When I say those people, I mean them Democrat people, them white liberal people. And let's be clear. If we're going to call Republicans sellouts, you damn sure need to be calling Democrats sellout too. Because they all selling out. And they're all funded by the same companies. Now, stop talking like Elon Musk is the only billionaire that gives money to political parties when Elon was giving money to the Democrats not less than 5 years ago. And everybody was quiet, and everybody liked him. So much, Biden was about to mandate that we had to go to electric vehicles. Whose vehicles did you think he was talking about us driving? So cut the cap. Stop being suckered by corporate media spin. Doesn't mean he's a saint. Doesn't mean you got to kiss his ass. Just wake up and smell reality here. Who's cooking the books? We were talking about it in 2015, 2016, was saying how I was at the DNC. It was a July day. It was hot as hell. Bernie dropped out, and now we were supporting Jill Stein. I got to open up for Jill Stein. And I remember one of my lines. I don't remember much of my speech, but one of my lines was, "People want us to be afraid of Trump, but when I read WikiLeaks and I saw that reporters from major newspapers were contacting the Hillary Clinton campaign, getting their approval to publish their articles, giving their articles to the Hillary campaign to read before they published them. I knew then that she was way more dangerous than Trump. I mean, Trump may own some businesses, but he can't tell the media what to write. They got you thinking that's what Trump doing now, huh? Hillary and the Democrats been doing that all this time, man. Where you been? Where you been? They couldn't write an article without permission from the Hillary Clinton campaign. When Donna Brazile came on my channel talking about the DNC, Hillary owned the DNC. And the DNC pretty much owns, they own NPR and PBS. You gotta know that, right? All I'm saying is this liberal, this fiasco, this charade, the charade that we under, we gotta stop. We gotta grow up and accept it for what it is and make it work for us. And I'm not saying by going independent we solve all our problems. What I'm saying is we gotta stop looking at white liberals like they're our buddies. It doesn't mean you can't have some friends that are liberals, because nothing's absolute. But we gotta smell the coffee here. Politically, we gotta grow up and we gotta hold them accountable, just like you would hold anybody else accountable in your life, if you got any sense. Hold them accountable, because if we don't, we're gonna end up where we are. Shout out to the white liberal who's about to tweet out how horrible Tim Black is now. What happened to him? I'll tell you what happened to me. I woke up and I realized how bad you are. And then I lost my filter completely, and I decided I wasn't going to take it, and I'm going to talk about it. I've been talking about DEI. We still talking about DEI? No, we're not talking about that no more. We off that. We're off the DEI mess, right?
We're going to put them in, and we're going to execute them. That our strength is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years.
When did, just these type of sayings, like we've been buying into this, white liberals been saying this, our strength is our diversity. What the hell is that? What does that even mean? Our strength is our diversity. Like, really, what is that? Can you pay your rent, your mortgage, your car note with diversity? Now, when your back is up against the wall, when the average black American with a degree makes less than the average black man makes less with a degree than a white man with a GED. Now we got some outliers out there. I know some of you are killing it. I just want you to know. I want you to know that. And I want you to know it ain't even coming close when it comes to net worth. I mean, you got to go get a master's degree. That's why so many sisters go get master's degrees. They got to. That's what it is. That's when there's a difference. But going to get one degree ain't enough. And we got this guy talking about diversity. That's what it is. That's what we need. We need diversity. And when he's talking about diversity, he's talking about white liberals hiring black people, right? Now he's talking about white liberals hiring LGBTQ, new migrants, new migrants that came to the country, veterans, because diversity is everybody. It's not just white and black. We gotta see. I know for some of y'all this is redundant because you already know this. But some of us don't know. They think when they hear diverse, because their minds been programmed by Hollywood movies that we just talk about black people and white people. And they forget there's like 10, 12, 13 columns of diversity. And one of those columns a white woman. So just think about all the diversities that there are out there. Black men, you need to understand this. Don't be listening to Dr. Jason Johnson, Bakari Sellers, and D.L. Hughley like they know what they're talking about. They got theirs. All three of them got theirs. Van Jones got his. So he got his so bad, he'll cry on CNN because he's super good. Why would he give a damn what you think about him? It's us we got to be worried about. Diversity. They got us tricked into thinking that diversity met us. It never met us. They got us thinking that Trump just rolled back the Constitution and made it so they could segregate all over again. We got people actually believing that. We got smart people walking around repeating that. Oh, Trump done rolled back slavery. He done put, we're going to be white water fountain, black water fountain. Come on, Johnson. People are actually believing this. The only person that could change, no person can change laws. First of all, no person can change laws. You have to go through an act of Congress, that's through both houses, and then Trump would have to sign it for that to happen. You can't executive order to nullify the Constitution, an amendment or law, or the Supreme Court would have to rule something unconstitutional. That has not happened. But the liberals have taken, and I would say the Democrats have taken a change in a federal contracting guideline that says you got to go make sure everything is diverse, that you have desegregation in all areas of your contract. That's primarily focused on the DEI elements of those contracts. They had all these other groups included. People keep thinking that diverse means black, and it means a lot more than that. And why is it that we did not have, why didn't we have all the good, another thing, what I just said is all fact, you go look that up. And why is it that all my liberal friends out there who want to be honest, who are not trying to gaslight the hell out of black people and have black people worried and worried that we rolling back to the 40s, why they didn't have the guts to come out and say that's not what it meant, that Trump don't have that authority, that he didn't do that, that's not what's done. It's this redundancy. It's already against the law to segregate, to deny black people access. Any people access for that matter. It's already against the law. Don't have to have it in a federal contract to sue a federal agency or a contracting company for discriminating. You don't need that in a federal contract to sue. When somebody would deny me something because I'm black, I sue the shit out of them. You should too. Sue them twice. And why come all these good people that mean so well, they're not really working for the Democrats, they really care about black people first? Why did they come out and tell you that? Why they got people running around believing that? It's about 30 videos I saw 50 videos on TikTok with black people talking about we get segregated. We got a bunch of white people crying too. We're rolling back and rolling back everything. Look what Trump did. And they had real tears coming out people's faces. Based on gaslighting and a lie. Why isn't Ayanna Pressley out here telling the truth that Trump cannot roll that back? Why is she gonna get up there and tell that damn lie? See what I'm saying? It's what they do to keep their jobs. I'm beginning to think one of the worst things we ever did was create the damn squad. The squad ain't nothing but a bunch of white liberals. In my opinion, the squad ain't nothing but a bunch of white liberals pretending that we got a shot in the current Democratic Party when we don't. I feel like they've been stood up by the system to make us pretend we got a shot at working within this system, working within this Democratic Party to get somewhere when we do not. It's fugazi. You know what fugazi is, right? That's like that guy who was selling them gold chains, man. I bumped into him in the mall. He had all the chains on. Yeah, man, I got the chains, man. You like this chain on me? I was like, man, that's wild. I'm like 17 years old. This was the early 90s, I think it was. All the rappers. I'm still thinking of, I think Big Daddy Kane had that big rope on. I'm working it like a What was I working at that time? I was working in the mall somewhere. I was probably working at this place called the Sunglass Hut. I've always loved sunglasses. This little kiosk in the middle of the mall called Sunglass Hut. Yeah, man, man, I can get you this, man. Hey, look, man, I got a special deal, man. I got one just like it. Check this out. And he pulled out this pretty gold rope chain, man. Oh, it was something else, man. He said, let me tell you something, big man. Try it on. Oh, look good, don't it? Look good on you. That look good on you. Oh, killing him. Look, man. I usually want 300 for this. Oh, well, don't take it all so fast. I'm about to take that thing all so fast, I almost broke. He's like, Slime, calm down. I said, man, I can't afford it, man. I can't afford it. You sure? You can't afford it? You sure? Yeah, man, I can't do it. He said, how much you got, bro? I like making, you know what, man? I like you, man. How much you got? So, man, I just got paid, man. I ain't got that much, man. I had to pay bill. Well, how much you got, bro? I got like 150. You know what? For you today, bro. For you. Don't tell nobody else I did this stuff. 2 weeks. 2 weeks is all it took for that thing to turn all kinds of colors. It looked like the rainbow was around my neck. Mrs. Black could tell you. She was my girlfriend at the time. I tried nail polish to slow the turn in and everything. Oh, man, my friend Duffy laughed at my ass, man. Said, they got you. They got you. Used to call me Esquire. They got you, Esquire. They got you, Preach. Yeah, Preach, they got you. You can't get no gold chain for $150, Tim Black. Well, you know what? You can't get no equality, no equity. I'm sorry, no equity out of white liberals and out of the Democratic Party playing their game. Only chance we got is to make them earn it. That's the only chance we got. I don't even know if that's going to work, frankly. I don't know. But like I said, if you don't get knocked out, every time you fight this guy, you get knocked out, if you're going to fight him, at least fight him a different way. Like, why you keep walking up trying to fracture his knuckles with your face? We got to try something different. Pick up something. And all I'm saying is, we need to pick something up. Because this ain't working. Name a true white ally. Name a true, don't say Jimmy Carter, he's passed. Some of y'all love to pull Jimmy Carter out your ass. Jimmy Carter! Oh, say that so quick. Look, and I'm not saying that everybody's bad and everybody's horrible people, but what I'm saying, for the purposes of this discussion, no one cares. It ain't about how nice somebody is. We're talking about political. We're talking about politics. We're talking about playing the game to win. And when I read that letter, man, it gave me a sinking feeling because I've modified my mission in life. And I take this very serious. Black people got to stop giving their vote to the Democrats without there being a negotiation. It's got to be that way. And nobody should have a problem with that. They should say, look, here's the deal. Anybody that works in the Democratic Party, any of your friends that are Democrat, they should be like, you know what? They should feel so comfortable and confident in their party. They should say, you know what? Go ahead and try it out. Go have a look around. We know you're going to be back here because we got the best deal going. See, they know they don't have no best deal going for us. That's why they're so upset. You start talking about looking around. Why you need to do that? Don't go listen to that charlatan talking that crazy stuff. He probably getting paid. He probably paying him to lie. Or you mean like they're paying you to lie? Huh? And if they're not paying you, Lord help you. Lord help you. Because I never told you to go vote Republican. I'm saying you pull your automatic membership to the Democratic Party and make them earn it. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying something basic. This should go without having to say. But for some reason, Black Americans have to be told, have to be persuaded to do this. Nobody got to persuade Latinos or Asians. They do this on, shoot, we need to, Indians be like, ugh. My brother, we have to negotiate. Have to negotiate. Quick, fast. Don't do nothing without negotiating. But we don't feel like we had the ability to do that. And I know where that comes from. But we need to change that paradigm because it has not worked for us. 50 years, 55 years of voting for the same party almost exclusively has given us where we are. At some point, we got to take ownership of that. And I don't care what these scholars are telling you. I don't care what these very nice people are saying. You know, I don't. What type of persuasive vernacular they throw at you? Drop a time in the comments when a liberal fails you. Let's see if anybody put anything. I want to see. I asked that question earlier. Let me see if I can find some. Because to me, that would be important to note. The people who have been overtly racist when it was socially acceptable are today's white liberals with the need to feel superior. They used to scoff at blacks, now they scoff at non-liberals. That's a different way to put it. Leon advocacy. Oh, I'm sorry. Loon advocacy. The people who have been overtly racist when it was socially acceptable are today's white liberals with a need to feel superior. They used to scoff at blacks, now they scoff at non-liberals. A good living ally, though, is usually an attorney. So shout out to all the attorneys protecting the people that the parties abandoned. That was Craig Britton. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I just want people to give a voice to it. Nene64 says we're the only demographic that is expected to vote without getting anything in return. Yes. Yes, that's true. Yes, that's true. And it's up to us to change that. Right? If you keep going to the corner store and the corner store is disrespecting us, we got to stop going to the store. Right? If Al Sharpton gave a damn about black people, he'd be boycotting the Democratic Party. How has he never boycotted the Democratic Party? All you people out there that boycotting Target, we got boycotts. So look at the whites. Look at the poor whites. No. Look at the conservatives, the MAGA people, right? Whoever it was who decided to boycott Coors. Think about that. Think how little it took for them to do that. Think about it. Coors sent one trans woman, they sent a trans person some beer with their likeness on the beer to their house. That person used it in the video. You can't go to the store and buy it. And people got so mad. They got so mad they boycotted Coors. Am I getting that right? Am I getting it wrong? Let me know, guys. They boycotted Coors over them sending them beer. It was so bad, Kid Rock came out and shot the beer cans. Put that. You want to put it on the beer? You want to do that to us? I'll tell you what I think about that. Put that. Forget this beer. I can't get Black Americans, we can't get Al Sharpton to boycott Democrats. We moving 4% in housing ownership in 50 years. And he ain't saying nothing about boycotting the Democrats. Anybody that tells you that Al Sharpton's on that side, I need to stop running down Al's name, you need to check yourself into the nearest facility. When they say what's wrong with you, say, I'm not sure, but a good friend of mine told me I need to be checked out. Start above my neck, because something ain't right. Valerie says Biden made promises to FBI and didn't keep not one. Not a one was kept. And Al Sharpton, Clyburn, Whoopi, Michelle Obama, Oprah, Sonny. I'm just naming people. None of them was like, we need to boycott Democrats. We need to hold them accountable. Not a single one of them was like that. Think about it. Lord have mercy. Lord Lovesmith said, don't say Bill Clinton. Don't say Bill Clinton. my brother. He said, don't say Bill Clinton. Oh, come on now, Tim Black. See, Tim, I'm trying to tell you, Tim, you're crazy, Tim. I did not have sexual relations. I did not help Black people. I locked them up, though. Yeah, I locked them up good. You know, sometimes you got to lock people up, Tim. All this time, Tim, walking around here, had to get rid of you. Yeah, people. Yes, people. Watch out for the GOP wolf, said the white liberal fox with 1 foot in the hen house. Lord have mercy. Matthew Wayne, give it up. Give it up, Matthew Wayne. And all I'm saying, guys, if I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. Look, I can take criticism. I'm willing to hear you. I'm willing to hear you out. But what I'm saying is, if we keep doing this, we deserve what we get. And if you had a platform and you cared about this, would you use it to spread awareness about the thing you cared about? That's all I'm doing. I think a lot of people agree with me. Even people that say they disagree with me, who are in this same space and do what I do, but fear the reprisal of agreeing with me because it's a price to pay. And they spent their life, their entire political life, going one direction, and they don't want to do what I did, which is have to back up all your steps and rebuild your whole brand and go another way on principle. See, I was adjacent to these people. I was rocking with progressives. 5 years ago, it took me 3 years by myself to rebuild myself. But I needed to, because I would have never felt right with myself, because I had seen the light and I realized I was on the wrong path. And I changed. I took the hit. I lost the friendships. I lost the money. I lost the access. I lost everything you can lose except my soul. And I went the other way. And I slowly built trust with a whole new group of people. And we standing on business. Now, I don't know how you judge people, what you judge people for, but I tell you something. When somebody's willing to lose everything they got to fight for you, you should consider it. I'm not saying you hire them, but I'm saying you should consider it. Because most people ain't giving up anything here. Most people ain't giving up nothing. They ain't giving up their money. They're not giving up their access. They're not giving up their friendships. They're not going to do it. And all I'm saying is that's what I had to do. And that's what it took me to learn. I had to learn this stuff. So look, I want to know who's had a situation happen where a white liberal has let them down. I want people to realize this. Cause like I could tell you the story where I told the story last week about selling candles for my school and how those rednecks call me N-word and ran me from their door. Back when I was in the 7th grade. So I told you that story. Anybody got stories about white liberals? I got a few. But I want to hear your stories. Mark Black says, damn Tim Walz. Black folk can't afford vile politics anymore. We need resources and protection, or all these politicians could shut the F up. We never could afford it, Mark. That's the only thing I disagree with you on. We never could afford it. But I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I understand what you're saying. We never could afford it. But we were affording what we could. We were accepting that. And not all of us were. Remember, half the country don't vote. So half of us have been like, nah. Someone said, Tim Black, I was young and I knew not to buy gold off the street. Yeah, I was a teenager, man. Yeah, I left home when I was in high school, brother. I've been on my own since I was 16 years old. Maybe my dad would have stopped me, but he didn't know I was doing it, dog. I just know I wanted to look like my favorite rappers. They had gold chain on. I didn't realize their chains were probably fake, but they didn't turn. If they had any sense, the chains was fake. You know what I'm saying? Because you should spend all that money on a piece of jewelry. For real. Toby said it's hard to hear about children getting played. It's all good, man. I learned, but Joe, I will say $150 is a lot of money back then. That was virtually my whole check, but I was done. In my experience, here goes Sam, aka the Khaleesi. In my experience, while liberals want to be friends and allies to turn you to their side, they treat you like a pet. When you cannot be converted, they bounce. Exactly. They want to bend you to their will. This is very true. Give it up for that. I'll tell you, quiet as it's kept, guys, and I'm be totally transparent. I've been places where when you're around conservative white folks who probably are MAGA types, but this is pre-Trump. Like I said, I've been on the earth for a century now. Well, half a century. I wish I was a century. 50 years now. Over 50 now. And I'm proud of it. I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. So you can't tell me, the Trump day. I can see if you're a young person, if you're like 20 in your mid-20s or, whatever, Trump been a part of your life for a good portion of your life. But I was around white people way before there was a Trump or a MAGA, working in IT in D.C. D.C. is very diverse. A lot of different people live in D.C. A lot of different people work in D.C. We got people coming from Northern Virginia. Just imagine if you're in New York, like I know it's people from New York, you can live in New Jersey, or you can live in, some people even live in Delaware and work in New York. Like you could just jump on a bridge and be, go to either three or something. It was crazy. I went to see some friends in New York and we had lunch and I had a friend in Delaware. We had lunch in Jersey and had dinner in New York. It just hit that whatever Pike or whatever that was. So anyway, I've been around a lot of diverse people. This is pre-Trump, and I know I've been around the conservatives, and they was like, "Cool, what's up, bro? Can I buy you a beer, bro? Let me buy you a beer, bro. Want to hear your stories and want to talk. It's almost like damn, I'm not a celebrity. I'm just black. You know, I'm not saying that's everywhere. Sure, we got some other types of, but what I'm saying is we're going to deal with that with whoever it is. I'm prepared to deal with racism no matter who it is. There's some immigrants who are more racist than white people. Okay? Let me repeat that. There are immigrants that are far more racist than white people. And we got liberals telling us, like Joe Biden, you need to work it out with them. Because pretty soon, it's going to be more of them than you. You need to get along with the Latinos. I'm not saying we shouldn't get along. But what I'm saying is I met immigrants who are way more racist than white people than I met. Almost viciously so. I'm talking rampant racist. Like a religion to them, because they feel that their survival is to stay away from us. White people, by and large, in my experience, don't feel like they're going to get contaminated by black people. Now, I know it's some Klan members and stuff, but these people, like, they was conditioned not to do the black. Not the black. And, like, unlike white people, they haven't seen us in the movies. They didn't see Equalizer when Denzel, saves the little white girl. Yeah, they haven't seen that movie. All they saw was, some gangbanger movie. What they've been told about black people. So anyway, so Ebony says those are the ones that think that their hate for blacks will bring them closer and more acceptable to the whites. There it is. Ding, 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 ding. So I think this is a good conversation to have, folks. The late Senator Strom Thurmond in my state of South Carolina saw what monsters the Democratic Party was. He left and went Republican. My state went from blue to red after that, and we followed him. Really? I heard such bad things about Strom Thurmond. Isn't that Biden's friend? Floor Night said, vote for Sam. God. I'm telling you, man, y'all make me feel a lot better. You really do. Makes me feel a lot better. I'm sure Buck and Black Mamba are working overtime over here on these comments, making me get the impression that things are going well in the comment section. It's got to be some. It's got to be some dissenters. There's always going to be dissenters. Now what I want people to understand, the person who wrote me that letter that told me that what I was suggesting that we leave the Democratic Party was going to put us, in harm's way, because in their mind, all they think is that means I want us to be Republicans. And that's not even what I want us to be. I don't want us to be anything except able to choose. Able to choose our own destiny and to actually choose. See, if when you are just, when this is sitting in front, when you are just taking the same thing every time that they give you, you're not choosing. We haven't been choosing the Democrats. We've been settling for the Democratic Party. Make them earn it and then choose. It's basic. And all I'm saying is to all those people who will not, I'm sure they won't. I don't think after this video goes up, I don't think it's going to go viral and all of a sudden get all these black faces in high places, all these Negro whisperers to contact me and want to have a conversation on the level, live. I don't think that's going to happen. They're too busy running black men in the dirt. Ain't that right, Tiffany Cross? They too busy talking that smack. Ain't that right, Jamel Hill? They too busy caping. Ain't that right, Bacardi Sellers? They too busy wagging their finger. And black people saying black men ain't important anyway. Ain't that Dr. Jason Johnson? Ain't that you, Dr. Jason Johnson? Saying we being Democrats preoccupied with black men. Don't worry about black men, what they gonna do. They don't matter. Ain't that right, Dr. Jason Johnson? Ain't that what you said? Yeah. I don't expect them to contact me and want to have a dialogue. But I'm hoping that this stream, somehow I'll clip it up and maybe I'll put some parts out there that reaches some brothers and sisters who need to really think about and reconsider. Because I don't know what argument you can make where you could actually argue to people with brains why choosing is a bad idea. Yeah. See, they're trying to smear me and say, oh, you want us to go vote for Trump. Well, you can't even vote for Trump no more, right? How is that even valid? He can't run again, dummy. So how am I telling you to vote for somebody when it's over? You know, the election's over, goofy. That's over. That's it. He won. So you can't say that's what I'm doing it for because he already won, right? No, I'm doing this for my people because you don't have the heart to do it. Ain't that right, Don Lemon? You don't have the heart to do it. And I know what I think. I think Don Lemon's total cap. I think Don Lemon had a non-compete clause in his agreement with his severance package from CNN. Yeah, this is something I've been thinking about. I believe that Don Lemon has a non-compete based on this conversation with Joy Reid, who also had a non-compete clause. See, Don doesn't think people pay attention. He thinks people are dumb. I believe that Don Lemon had a non-compete clause in his agreement with CNN. And they told him he could not work with Elon Musk on X, or he would be violating the non-compete statute in his contract. He made it seem like it's because Elon Musk ran me out and I want to stand up for black people. No, I don't think that's what it was. Because if that was the case, you never would have agreed to work with him to begin with. Now, you just back into your posture of pretending like you're riding for black folks. When I seen your work over the years, sir, I still remember you saying black people need to stop picking up trash around their houses and stop being homophobic. We the most homophobic people on the planet. You must have never been around the poor whites. They dropped the F-bomb like nobody's business. Yeah, their whole comedy, their entire comedy like culture was sexualized and homophobic. So you can't fool me with that. But anyway, back to my point. Just because he came up, I figured I'd share that little bit of nugget. Some people fell for it. Now all of a sudden, Don Lemon he's a great titan for Black America. Come on, Johnson. Come on now. We can't fall for that. But I don't expect Don Lemon to reach out and be like, no, let's clear this up. Let's talk about this. See, Don Lemon was really straight up. How can a person be independent media and not tell black people to go independent with their votes? You were independent with your career, but you don't advocate for other people to go independent with their voting? That's crazy talk. That don't even make sense. It doesn't make sense because they're not being real. It's like looking for a job and only going to one place. Only go to one place and you get turned down and keep going back to the same job, looking to see you hired, walk past 3 other places that you could put an application in there. You keep going to the same place, trying to put your application in there and getting turned down. I mean, when you only move 4% of home ownership from 1970 to 2020, you only move 4%. That's like getting turned down for the job, ain't it? It's like 1% a decade. And you up here asking me, why am I talking about black Americans need to go independent and why white liberals are full of it? Because white liberals want to keep us on the Democratic Party. If they really was our friend, they say, look, you black Americans really got it bad, man. Work these people for all you can get out of them. Now, see, they want to be parental guidance. Yeah, because we don't have enough sense to decide for ourselves and to make our own moves. They want to be parental and grab us by the arm, by the shoulder, and lead us and show us, grab us by the back of our necks and push us where they want us to go. See, if they really cared about us, they say, damn, Tim is right. Generally speaking, black people are not doing well in this country. And they help build the country for free against their will. The least I could do is support you and saying, yeah, twist this party's arm to get something for y'all. Twist this Democratic Party arm to get something out of them to help your family. But they won't even do that. So how are they our friends? Instead, they would tell us how wrong we are for wanting to go our own way, for looking out for ourselves. Think about that. Like I stated earlier, a friend is a person who wants for you the same thing they want for themselves. What they have that you don't have, or what you don't have without a huge consequence, is freedom of choice when it comes to politics. Think about that, and then tell me who your real friends are. A friend will look out for you. How's they looking out for you now? They want you to stay where they want you to be. They want you to stay where they want you to be. And for me, that's a problem. If it's not a problem for you, I gotta say, that's a problem. That is a problem, Johnson. That is such a problem. You should have that looked at by a professional. Here I am. The question was, drop a time white liberals failed you in the comments. Oh, God. Hey, Daryl. Daryl, you tripping, man. Oh, God, here he goes. Rose said, I thought the Dems were going to lose the black vote after no voting, no vucking video. I was surprised black people continue to vote Democrat. Rose is right. Rose is 100% right. They would have lost my vote if I gave it to them, but I wasn't giving them my vote. But they would have lost it if I had been giving it to them. I think one of the problems is a lot of people didn't see that because it was online. See, Democrats are pretty smart. They understand that unless you are on certain platforms, there's certain things you won't even know about. I gotta believe that the majority of black voters, you think black voters that go to those black churches on Sundays, like the churches that Joe Biden went to, or Hillary went to, or Obama may have went to, stopped off at, or whatever, to pick up votes. You think they knew about no vote, no vucking, no voting? I don't think they did. They made sure that was isolated, that there were guardrails, and only certain people got to see about that. The same people that would end up at a Kamala Harris rally turned Megan Thee Stallion twerk off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It don't work for everybody. They know that. But yeah, you would think that would make you lose people. Al is a shakedown artist. He goes with the money. And I'm telling you, I believe you, Anita Parker. Thank you, sister. And I believe that so many of them are also shakedown artists. They're just more low-key. More low-key. Those black sororities were a serious letdown for FBA. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. What I hope is that this catches on, and I hope that there will be other people that do live streams that talk about these types of topics that are controversial, the types of topics that may cause you friends, that may, because It also, look, may open the door to new ones. It may open the door to new friends. But being as who I am, what I feel I represent, I'm gonna lead the way on this because that's who I am. Maybe some others will follow suit and do similar. Not try to back into it. Be bold and direct. Because that's what time it is. This is a dire situation we're in. If you want to say it's a dire, if you don't feel that this is a dire situation, that's because you're not educated to what's going on. Black Americans, in some cities and states, we're 40 and 50% of the homeless population. Take California. We're almost 50% of the homeless population, and we're like 8%. I think it's 8% of the population. Think about that. 50% of homeless families in the country are black. We're talking entire families without homes. Dog mad as hell. Dog sitting outside like, how we all gonna be outside? If you're homeless, you shouldn't even be able to keep a dog. He can do bad by himself. But that's what Black America is right now. What I'm trying to say is, we cannot be in that condition, allow ourselves to be in that condition, and just keep taking it on the chin like this is business as usual. No. And for me, one of the litmus tests, folks, and I may lose some of y'all, but I'm going to bet that I'm going to gain other ones after I lose some of y'all. I'll gain some others. That's how I had to look at this thing. I had to learn not to look at it like I'm losing good people, because I've lost people that I've known for years. With my newfound enlightenment, you know what I'm saying? My clarity has cost me dearly, fam. But I tell you this, one of my litmus tests is immigration. If I can't have a conversation with you about immigration, even when I lay out for you where black people are in America, do you know that in that same span of time, with Black America, from 1970 to 2020, from us having 41.1% of blacks owning homes, fast forward in 2020 to 41.4%, I think it is. I may be off by a point here or there. The immigrants passed us. Yeah, they're sitting at high 40s, if not 50. Now, you do the math on that. We the ones that was redlined. We were the ones who faced Jim Crow. Most of them didn't even come to America until Jim Crow ended. So what I'm trying to say is, if I can have a conversation about immigration, if you will not have a conversation about immigration, if you will give me talking points about, oh, Tim, there is no proof. Oh, I got proof. When there's mass immigration, incarceration numbers go up for black men. Because I think some of those black men end up doing some things they shouldn't do because they can't find work. I think it spills out into mental health and a lot of other things. You know, having a job and supporting your family is a very important thing to be able to do. And if you're unable to get a job, unable to hold a job, if you're getting laid off for jobs or overlooked for other jobs, there are whole industries that went from being predominantly black to being immigrant. We can't have conversations, honest conversations about that. If you don't care enough about my people, then we can have an honest conversation about these things, then you don't care about my people. Because it is what it is. How are you gonna look at the people that built the country and say we are able to be sacrificed? If you truly believe, white liberals truly believe all that rhetoric that you like saying in 2020 after Breonna Breonna Taylor was gunned down, and after George Floyd lost his life. If you really believed all that stuff you was talking about equality and about the plight of black people, then why would you then be okay with Joe Biden opening the floodgates of immigration on us more than any other president has done in the history of this country? Why would you do that? Why would you be okay with that? See, the same people that virtue signal about our issues, they virtue signal on the other side too, because all they care about is virtue signaling. They care about pretending to be good, pretending to care about people. But they don't really care, because if they really cared about Black Americans, they would hear it out. They would hear me out on that. They would have to, because they care, right? Calling it demonizing people. Demonizing people, that's what I'm doing. I'm demonizing people by saying we stuck at the bottom of this country and have been stuck at the bottom on purpose by the policies of this government. And you're saying I'm not being thoughtful when I say we have to be prioritized over new people that come into the country? And you're going to say I'm not being thoughtful? I think you're not being thoughtful, Johnson. And I think anybody in my position that would not voice this is a coward. Coward. Looking for buttermilk biscuits? Coward. Looking to pad their own pockets? That's more important than anything else. And that's fine. Just don't talk down on me. Don't talk crap. I get it. You need your money. We got to make money to survive. Well, then keep your mouth shut. You ain't been responding, don't start responding. Because I'm going to go right there to that topic, and you ain't going to be able to hang, and you're going to tap out. And you're going to start sounding like one of the white liberals calling me racist. See, we got to be able to have these conversations, because it's getting late in the game for us, man. It's late in the game for Black America. It is late. It's past late in the game. I'm not even sure if this can work at this point. Joe Biden said, you want to start working with the Latinos, because pretty soon it's going to be more of them than you. And then he made sure that was the case, didn't he? He went right on and made sure that was the case. And Al didn't say nothing. And Clyburn didn't say nothing. Who else was on that call? The rest of the Congressional Black Caucus didn't say nothing. They was all quiet. He shut them all up like a bunch of field hands. All right, folks, I want to thank everybody who showed up tonight. It's an unorthodox show. It's very different show. That's something we usually do. But it's something we need to do more of. I think once a week, we should just have a real conversation on a real harsh topic. The type of topic that makes the cowards run away and make me put the kids to bed. And the grown-ups have a conversation. It ain't for the weak of heart. It's not for the sensitive folk. Now, we ain't got to bash and we ain't got to get vulgar, and I realize, I ain't no walk in the park. I get it. I get that. But that don't mean we can't tell the truth, right? Stop begging white liberals for change. Build Black power without their permission. Support Black independent media. So this is the closing. This is the call of action. This is what we got to do. Before we leave, we got to have a call of action. And one of the call of action is we got to stop begging white liberals for change. They ain't going to give it to us. People do what you make them do. Don't you think you should wash the dishes? Don't ring out like, hey, wash some dishes. Build Black power without their permission. That's the solution. Support Black independent media. Like mine. I ain't the only one, though. You be the decider. You be the decider what black independent media is. Just know if they're not willing to say the hard part out loud, what good are they? They go for anybody. You want to vote? Sure, but organize locally. Cop watches, co-ops, homeschooling networks. Reject performative alliances, such as white-led activist groups. I see another white-led activist groups with a couple of raisins there. I'm gonna be upset. I'll be upset. Go spend that time mobilizing black organizations, black groups. Go do that. I know it's going to be harder to fundraise, but you'll be a lot more effective and you will get a lot more, you'll feel a lot more empowered by it. You will. Trust me. I know I did it. End with a meme. Let's see. Let's see. Do I have anything else here? I have at least something.
As a country, we got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, you damn right we're proud of these policies. We're going to put them in, and we're going to execute them. And so...
Who did you vote for today?
I voted for Kamala Harris.
Why is that?
I have 3 daughters, 4 children overall, and women's rights is pretty important to them and my daughters. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional about that. I didn't think that I was going to do that, but, you know, just their bodies, their choice type of a mentality. You know, I want them to grow up in a world that's welcoming to everybody. So yeah, that's why I cast my vote today.
You know, if you're in a privileged position where your biggest concern can be if your daughter, who's a child, will be able to have a procedure that would unpregnate them, you're doing pretty good. Yeah, you're doing pretty good. If that's your biggest concern in life, if you're doing so well that things are going great under Joe Biden, you're doing pretty good. A lot of white liberals were not hurting under Biden. Didn't matter to them. So they could be concerned with these other things that did not affect the bottom line. Meanwhile, you got Trump on the other side talking about things that do nothing but do affect the bottom line. You know, like fentanyl, jobs, stuff like that. And we got other people talking about other things. But yeah, if you spent your time looking up at the ceiling, staring up at the ceiling, thinking about Trump and how scary Trump is, that means to me that we live in a different world. There are people out here with real problems, worried about real things that have happened. If your fear was Orange Man, bad, that means you are okay. I saw something funny, guys. Before we go, I saw something funny. There we go. I got it. Whenever I think about the Democratic Party, I think about the Republicans, and I think about those shows they put on when they upset at each other. When I think about Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think about Jasmine Crockett getting into it. This is what I envision. Yeah, this is what I see. I see two dogs going at each other. As long as the gates close. See, when the gates close, that's when they want to do. But when the gates open, quiet. Yeah, quiet. Yeah, that's the Democrats versus Republicans. That's Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Jasmine Crockett. That's, I don't know, Stephen A. Smith versus LeBron. That's so many things. I see this so applicable. I see this as applicable in so many cases. because they're not serious about that life. But see, we gotta be more serious about ours because it is a life and death situation. And but if you don't laugh, you gotta laugh to keep from crying. And we gotta be resilient. So to be resilient, we gotta get through it the way we gotta get through it, guys. So I want to thank you tonight for tuning into this show. Remember, go to timblack.com to find, timblacktv.com, I should say. Timblacktv.com. To get my website, you got everything there, including my mug, the Tim Black Show mug. It supports the channel, and it's also a great mug. It's the legacy mug for this show. It's the flagship mug, $20 to your door, timblackmug.com. Don't forget to go pick up my books. You can find them at my website as well. Free ebooks that are on sale. I wrote them for you to use and for you to have the information. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. I really do. Let's go to comments. Black Mama gave out a membership because she's good. She's cool like that. Well, Tim, our people gotta wake up. White lives with us to suffer in grace and silence. But the grace is optional. Do work, Tim. Thank you, Mark Black. I appreciate you. That's it. Black Mamba gave a super sticker. Thank you, Black Mamba. Arlene says, I went to a movie with friends last night. Movie was about gentrification. White privilege all over the place. My friends were upset. To me, it was like preaching to the choir. Like, yeah, exactly, Arlene. Because Arlene, you know what time it is. Now, that's what woke meant. You just know stuff. That's all. It's none of this. I don't know what the Republicans took it and did stuff to it. And Tim Wall says we shouldn't let them. You can't control what words mean to people. But woke just meant knowing stuff. Being aware. That's how I used it. Win-win gave someone a membership to the Tim Black Show. Thank you, win-win. That's what I call a win-win, bro. I appreciate you coming through, man. And that is it, man. What a night. Thank you for being here. Remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. We'll be back tomorrow to finish out the week with something strong. Well, actually, I'll be back tomorrow to finish out the week. Then we'll be back Sunday. So be here tomorrow on Friday for more Tim Black Show. We're going to go back to a regular show with clips and news to update you on. But I had to get this off my chest. Maybe we'll do this one day a week. All right, guys. Number love for you. And with that, I got to ask like I always do. Where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Oh, there they go.